Welcome back, everybody. 2023, Season 2, Episode 1 of Everybody Needs a Nudge. I'm here with Root Beer. Say hi, Root Beer.
Hi, Root Beer.
Hi. Oh, I knew you were going to do that. That's a dad joke. And this week's guest, Charlie Philion. Did I say your last name right?
You did.
All right. Charlie, say hello.
Hello.
All right.
I'm Charlie.
This is Charlie. Charlie works here at Crowd Lending. I think one of my New Year's resolution is we're going to try to add a little real estate flavor to the podcast. I don't know how it's going to play out. It's nothing that's scripted, but I am going to try and work some more crowd lending stuff into it. I think I owe that to the company, given that I'm on company time, and so are you, Charlie, quite frankly.
Yeah.
And so are you, Rupia.
Right?
Yeah. So crowd lending's paying for all of us to be in here. I feel like they should get some airtime.
I agree.
More than just the sign. So we're gonna try to work that in. What do you think?
I love that.
Yeah, it's a good plan, right?
Great plan.
And you could like cut that and use it for advertising.
Absolutely.
All right, good. We added some new features to the studio. We got a very bright light staring at us. So I hope that all of my viewers on YouTube enjoy the new viewing addition that we made. It should look better. Is that the story with that?
Yeah.
All right. Charlie, how do you feel about that light, buddy?
Well, we got our makeup on. So
yeah, all made up.
Yeah.
Both Charlie and I are sporting beards. This is somewhat of a new
adventure.
Yeah, for me. Is it new for you?
No, I'm just too lazy to get rid of it.
Yeah. Well, you don't have anybody to be responsible to. It's just you.
Yeah.
So you could just let it go.
I'm all set.
What's that movie? Let It Go. What's that movie?
With Elsa?
Yeah, Elsa and what's that movie? The Ice Queen? Frozen?
Frozen.
Yeah, my daughters love that one.
I've never seen it.
No?
No kids.
Oh, that's right. No kids. I've seen it. Root Bear's a fan of the beard.
I love beards.
Yeah, big beard person.
I do.
Yeah. Johnny doesn't have a beard, though.
He does when he can.
Oh, his job won't allow him.
Right.
For those who don't know, Johnny's a state trooper.
Johnny Cops.
Johnny Cops is a state trooper. He's out there saving people all the time. It's amazing, Johnny.
But when he's on vacation.
He grows it.
Yeah.
Wow. How's the roommate doing?
He's good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Did you know she has a roommate?
I did.
Yeah. Not Johnny. She has another person that lives there. Yeah.
It's good.
He's the best cellar dweller.
Just surfing.
Is that what he does?
Yeah.
Surfs?
Yeah.
Where does he go?
For fun.
Yeah, I mean, obviously not for a living if he's around here.
He goes to New Hampshire, Rhode Island.
Really?
Compton, I think, is his favorite.
In Rhode Island?
Yeah.
So does he do it in the winter?
He does year round. It's insane.
So he goes out in the wetsuit and the whole shooting match.
Freezing, yeah.
God love him.
I know.
That's a tough guy. He's tough.
Yeah, he's a hunter too.
Yeah.
So.
That wouldn't be for me.
I'm good.
Yeah. I don't like hunting. I don't like guns. And I don't like hunting. And I don't surf. And I don't like being cold.
Do you shoot?
Guns?
Yeah.
No.
Have you?
No.
You got to try it at least once before you say you
know,
don't
man.
like them.
Crowd lending.
It's
Investor
powerful.
Day.
I know it's an investor trip to the gun range.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's putting a lot of people in a same room with a gun.
It's therapeutic.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Maybe I'll try it, but I'm not a big gun guy. Not that I'm anti-gun. I just don't have any guns.
Give it a try.
I'm gonna. So Christmas and New Year's went past. A lot of stuff. It's been a while since we did a podcast. A couple weeks. The holidays kind of screwed us up. How was your holidays?
It was beautiful.
Yours?
Awesome.
Did you go home?
Yeah.
How was it?
Amazing.
Where's home?
London, England.
London, England. The first foreigner on the podcast. You're now the answer to a trivia question. When we go big time.
Famous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When we go big time, we have some other foreigners on. You're the first. Although Hussein, would he be considered a foreigner? No, because he's a United States citizen. You're not a United States citizen.
Nope.
You are here on a J1 or some sort of
J1 visa.
Yeah. When does that expire?
November.
Everybody get that, government? Make sure November he's out of here.
Yeah. They'll be at my door. Smashing it down.
So you guys know that I like to pick up quotes and metaphors and all this stuff. So I heard a great quote the other day. I forget who said it, but it's essentially never argue with an idiot. they bring you down to their level, and then they beat you with experience. Right? Think about that.
Right.
Because you get so mad, you're arguing with some dum-dum, right? You start saying dumb things, and then he's got you, or she's got you. So never argue with an idiot. They bring you down to their level. What do you think of that?
I've had experience of that before.
I feel like just because you have that accent, you're smarter than everybody else in the room.
And the glasses.
Immediately.
And the glasses, right? Like immediately, like I feel like people from England have to prove they're dumb, as opposed to someone who sounds like me. I kind of have to prove I'm smart, right? Because I get made fun of all the time because I have an accent. I mean, it's a South Shore accent, right? It's very geographically centralized. But I guess yours is too, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely. In England, the disparity between accents is huge.
really?
Yeah, you can immediately tell where someone's from.
From one side of the shore to the other?
Yeah, where they're
Oh,
from.
top to bottom?
Yeah, and the people in East London have a different accent to the people in North London.
Really?
Yeah, it's huge.
I didn't know that. Did you know that?
No.
They all sound the same to me. Fuzzy foreigners all sound the same. But they don't. But they're not. You're saying, wow, see?
They would not sound the same if you hear someone from Liverpool.
They would sound different.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we played well today, but at the end of the day, we weren't quite the good enough team.
They're talking about football there,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, always.
voices are
Where are the
higher,
Peaky
too.
Blinders from?
Birmingham. Brum.
Yeah, you can't understand a word. You have to have the closed captions on to watch that show.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like a brogue.
Yeah, it's
Almost.
very hard to understand. So I'm watching my show, Aerial America. Have you know, you'd like this show
Yeah.
if you want to learn a little bit about America.
Yeah, I've watched some of it.
You
After
have?
You referenced it. I saw some.
Yeah, on the Smithsonian Channel. But you know what's happening now? I'm starting to see repeats, which is very disappointing for me.
Yeah.
It's like I saw them all.
You're in too deep now.
I'm in too deep.
Yeah.
I'm in too deep on Aerial America. They got to start doing some different stuff. But you know what I thought was very interesting was there was I think it was Wisconsin maybe, and they're doing the flyby, right? And they went over the top of this thing called a shot tower. You know what a shot tower is?
Nope.
Okay, so back in when they had muskets and they were making bullets, you know, like round bullets. The way they made them was they made these very tall, 60, 70 foot high towers made out of brick, and then they poured the molten, you know, whatever it is, metal, and the hot metal in the top, and it went down through this whole thing, and by the time it got to the bottom, it was a perfectly formed round
cool.
ball.
Mm.
Yeah. So there's a couple of them around in America, and I forget what episode I was watching. I have a note here that says Iowa, but I don't think that was it. But that's how they made the shots. They went down the shot tower, and then at the bottom, and then they found a better way to make it, and shot towers went out of business. But there's still a few of them around.
You'd think that would be located in New England.
Yeah, you'd think. This wasn't New England. I'll have to look and remember which one it was, but it wasn't a New England state. It was a
That's
Midwestern
interesting.
state. I want to say Wisconsin,
Surprising.
but yeah, that's how they made those.
Very cool.
Yeah, right. Little
Yeah.
tidbit.
A little tidbit.
Yeah, learn something new on this podcast. All right. So the last thing I'll say before I get hockey season started. High school hockey season started. Duxbury girls, which I coach, we won last night, so we're 8-0 right now. So we're having a good start to the season.
You're like the Eagles.
Have you ever been to we're like the Eagles. Have you ever been to a hockey game?
Nope.
Oh, Charlie.
Yeah, I'll come with Nick next time.
Yeah,
we
you
come
should
with
come. You
everything.
should come to a hockey game.
Yeah.
Tomorrow night, actually. Tomorrow night at Rockland Rink. You should. It's gonna be a good one. We're playing Notre Dame Academy.
I love the movie Goon.
Oh yeah. So that guy. So the movie Goon, Doug Smith, was a Hanover guy. Grew up in the same town that I grew up in.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, and the guy that wrote it was a Fatazio brother. I can't think of his first name, but there were like 9 Fatazio brothers. Christian Fatazio was my age. Now lives on the street my parents live on, but they used to go down to the Hanover Boys Club. And Doug Smith, the guy Goon, was a Hanover guy.
Very cool.
Now he's an Abington police officer, I believe. Very good guy. The Fatazios are a very nice family. But yeah,
Awesome movie.
yeah, great movie, great story. But
Little,
fun.
little lowbrow, but
Yeah,
it's good.
yeah,
It's a sports film.
yeah, and it is what it is.
Yeah.
You know, it's a sports film about a fighter in the makes it all the way to the NHL. But as a result of sort of, you know, coaching and sometimes you have to deal with parents,
Yeah.
right? And I've been lucky super lucky in my coaching career. I haven't had too many parent issues. I'm not without parent issues, but I haven't had any. I'm very lucky. I've been very lucky, and I'm very lucky this year. I have awesome parents this year. I got a great group of captains' parents. But I was watching, I think, TikTok or Twitter or Instagram or something. Probably Instagram.
Instagram.
Yeah, the Insta.
The Insta.
Yeah.
IG.
I like the Instagram. You on the Insta?
Yeah.
Yeah? Are you on the Insta?
I'm on the Insta.
Yeah. Is that what the kids call it? IG? What do they
IG.
Not Insta?
Instagram.
Yeah. They call it the full.
Instagram.
You can't shorten it.
I mean, IG maybe, but
Not-
the gram.
You can't call it,
the gram.
The
yeah.
gram.
but you can't call it the Insta.
No. You can.
I can, because Papa can do whatever he wants. Okay. So anyway, I have a friend that actually calls me Papa because I do things that are Papa like sitting with an Afghan pulled up to my chin.
The visual is
Yeah, because I'm freezing
incredible.
cold. I'm always cold. She's got the air. For everybody that's listening, Root Beer has the air on 55 in this room right now.
Because we got extra lighting.
It's freezing.
It's too hot.
How are you feeling?
Chilly.
Yeah, and
But
you're
I like
wearing
it. I like it.
You do.
Keep you on your toes.
I like to be cold.
So the last thing I'll say is, so you deal with parents sometimes, right? So Gino Ariyama, do you know who that is? Gino Ariyama is the head coach of the University of Connecticut women's basketball team, which is like the all-time greatest women's program. They've won a bunch of national titles. He's like a legend, right? He's won 7 million games. He's been around for 1,000 years. And he talks a lot about, on the Insta, he talks a lot about dealing with parents and players that expect more playing time. So he tells a story, and essentially what he says is, look, parents come to me, they ask me about playing time and positions, and he always responds to them, well, have you coached? Have you ever coached? And they say no, inevitably they say no, and he says, well, then how do you know what position they should play? How do you know how many minutes they should play? And then he says, I'll tell you what, I'll promise your kid, now this is basketball, I'll promise your kid 25 minutes of playing time, and she'll get to take 15 shots every single game. So the parents are all excited. They love that, right? The game's 40 minutes. They're going to play 25 minutes. They're going to get 15 shots. And then he says, but you have to promise me that they'll score 15 points and get me 10 rebounds. And he says it stops the parents dead in their tracks. Because the parent's not going to make that promise.
Right.
But they want the coaches. The point was, all these parents, or some parents, I shouldn't say all the parents, some parents want guarantees, right? You got to guarantee my kid 20 minutes. You got to guarantee my kid whatever it is. He's going to be on the first line if it's hockey, or he's going to be the starting midfielder if it's soccer, or whatever it is. But they're not willing to guarantee. They don't understand that the promise is a two-way street, right? If I'm going to make that promise to you, then you've got to promise me that your kid's going to do every single thing that I ask him to do or her to do, and make sure they're uber prepared for every game and every practice, and put in 1,000 minutes and all that stuff, right?
All the pressure's on the coach.
All the
basically.
pressure's on the coach. So, but I think that's a great way to handle it. Like, you can't guarantee me that. I can't promise you this.
In
right?
England, the sport, there's never pressure on the coaches like that. The parents are just happy their kids are playing sport.
Really?
They're not interested in the kid becoming like an NHL star or.
Why is that? I mean, the only sport over there really is soccer.
Yeah. I mean, soccer's the main one, but cricket, rugby.
Oh, yeah.
There isn't the pressure on the kids like that. You don't get the parents on the touchline screaming, getting all animated.
So you got to come to a hockey game.
Yeah, I'm on it.
Yeah, you got to come. And tomorrow night will be a good one to come to, because we're playing a good team, and it'll be a good contest. And you can see
I don't want to be a bad luck omen.
I know.
You're 8-0.
No.
You're 8-0.
Yeah.
Don't manifest that.
If it
I
goes
just
8
did.
if it goes
Don't put
8
that
and
out
1.
into the
Don't put
world.
that out there.
Don't put that out in the world. It's bad luck now. You can't come.
Yeah, I have to come to another game
You have to come.
against the
Nick
soft
That's
opposition.
yeah.
Nick did say that he's grown to love hockey from going
Yeah.
to those games.
Because and even Chris, my partner, my business partner, he gives me a lot of grief about the hockey. But he came to one of my daughter Annabelle's games, and he was very, very impressed at the speed of the game, the way the girls played, the aggressiveness, just the whole. So he's, if you come to the game, you can understand, what it's all about. Hockey, unlike football, and I would say soccer on some level, it's a much better sport to see live than it is to see on TV.
Agreed.
You know, football sucks live. Have you been to an NFL game?
No, but I know it's so slow.
It's just, and you're so far away, and you know the 3-yard play you can't. So hockey, you're right on top of it. It's fast. It's constantly moving. It's just a better sport, spectator sport live, right? I would say radio befits baseball the best. Football is an unbelievable TV product, right? It's awesome on TV.
Yeah.
Hockey's okay on TV, but if you're not a hockey guy, it's hard to follow a hockey game on TV. And the other side of it is there's so much, you know, football play is kind of right there, right? Wherever the ball goes, that's the play. In hockey, there's so much stuff going on away from the puck to set up what's going to happen next that you don't see when you're watching it on TV because they're just following the puck.
Right.
So that's
the problem with soccer. You don't see what the other players are doing, but they're actually very necessary in the tactics of the game.
Yep. So it's funny you say that because I always would joke. I have a ton of athletes on the hockey team, the girls' hockey team, that are soccer players. A ton.
Yeah.
And they're incredible athletes. But hockey and soccer always conflicted because soccer was in the fall and hockey always started early. This is before high school, and I would get not mad. I would jokingly get mad because they're missing hockey
Practice.
to go to soccer. But my message was always, look, if it's fall, it's soccer season, you go to soccer, right? But if it's in hockey season and you're trying to skip to go to soccer, that's when I had a problem with it.
Yeah.
But over the course of the years and talking to Mark Gammons, who's been on this podcast, he's a huge soccer fan, the similarities in the tactics between hockey and soccer, playing to space, using your opponents, using your teammates for support, all those, you know, switching sides of the field, right, going to the weak side, all those sort of things also apply to hockey. So what I've started doing is I've watched more soccer, but I've also embraced the soccer messaging in my coaching with my soccer players.
Yeah.
To say, hey, you know, this is how you got to work to the other side of the field. This is just like you do in soccer. And it's like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Because a lot of them are soccer players. Some of them are soccer players first and hockey players second. So I do have a new appreciation for soccer. I didn't get to see that World Cup game, which I heard was epic and right, you know, just one for the ages, right? And Messi kind of putting his stamp as the greatest player ever. Greatest player ever? Definitely.
No debate.
Wow. That's strong words right there. But he has an English accent, which makes him an expert on soccer.
Yeah.
Immediately, right? All right, so let's get into Charlie a little bit. And so tell me, Charlie, where were you born?
London,
England.
Westminster.
Well, is Westminster
right in the center?
So liken it to Boston. So there's Boston, and then there's like Dorchester, you know, West Roxbury. Is it like that, or is?
Yeah. So London is a city where it goes like center outwards.
Okay.
And the more like the government houses and all the politicians live right in the center.
Okay.
So I was born in a hospital in Westminster called the Portland Hospital, right in the center.
Right in the center.
Yeah.
Right with all the heavy hitters, all the big wigs down there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. And that's where you lived?
Yeah, all my life.
Right there.
Yeah. 15 minutes away, 10 minutes away.
So, okay.
'Cause Westminster isn't necessarily an area that's like very residential.
Okay.
It's more like commercial politics, government houses. The Houses of Parliament are in Westminster.
Okay.
So I lived in the residential area that's nearby.
Got it. Okay. And who lived there with you?
My brother, my mother, and my father.
Okay. And your brother's older or younger?
Much older.
Whoa, much older.
11 years.
I have a brother that's 11 years older than
Yeah.
me. See, this is my favorite part of the podcast, and I say this all the time, right? Now, Charlie, I've known Charlie for 8 months. That's not a lot. It's not like it's a lifetime, but I'm going to learn all kinds of new stuff today. It's awesome. All right, so you got a brother that's 11 years older than you.
Yeah.
So what are you, 25?
26.
26, so he's 37. All right, and where is he now?
Dubai.
That's the other thing about people from overseas, right? They're just more worldly,
Definitely.
right? Like someone's like, hey, where's your brother? I'm like, he lives 3 streets over from me, right? Charlie's like, my brother's in Dubai.
Yeah, England is like naturally tourists because we're so near Spain, France, all the holiday destinations, Italy.
Got it.
So you kind of like in the summer you go to foreign places. Europe has so many different countries, so many different experiences.
Yeah.
The cultural dimensions are very
and old.
yeah, very dispersed even between Spain and Portugal, and they're next door to each other.
Yeah, yeah. I was struck. I went to Italy, and I was just struck by how old everything is.
Yeah.
Like it makes America seem so, and it is young, right? It's only 200 and what are we, 50 years old?
Yeah.
But you're like, 250 years, that's a long time. Then you go over there, there's like a building that's been there for 2,000 years, right? And they're still using it. And you're like, that's amazing.
My family were showing some Americans around London, and one of the guys just pointed at this building and was like, "That's 1,000 years old."
Yeah.
And it was like 200.
Right.
But because it looked so old, the guy thought it was like ancient.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, England and especially London's really old.
So you grow up in Westminster, and you play sport. Do you play sport while you're growing?
Yeah, football.
As a
Soccer.
lad, soccer,
Soccer.
football.
Yeah, big time. Like,
I saw, and I wish put this down for corrections. I saw a great on the Insta, which is where I get all my information. But it was a narrative about how why the Americans call football soccer, right? And it's not. I thought it was because we were already playing football, but that's not it.
yeah.
No, there's some sort of. I'll get it. I'll show it to you after this, and then I'll put it on the next podcast. But it had something to do with the the wording of soccer, and then soccer got shortened, or football got shortened to something else, and then boom, 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 and then it turned into soccer.
Mm.
So they bastardized it, much like they bastardized the English language, right?
Like rounders and baseball as well, maybe.
Yeah,
Pretty
exactly.
similar game.
Rounders.
Did you see David Beckham and Peyton Manning's advert
No.
during the World Cup?
No.
I think it was Lay's.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had like a debate about whether it should be called soccer or football.
Oh, they did.
Yeah, like between the two.
Well, so the simple-minded American would say, well, we already had a football. We already had the sport football. We had to come up with a different name, but that's not it. So I'm gonna put it in the corrections. So you played football. I mean, yeah, football. Your football,
Yeah.
which is soccer, cricket.
Tennis.
So tell me about cricket a little bit. Did they have like leagues for little people, for kids?
Yeah, that's the other
For
thing.
little people.
The difference in America and England is we don't really have like all these little leagues and stuff.
Yeah,
It's like you just play for your school
that's it.
or in like a village team. Like if you're from the countryside, they'll have like a village team where adults play with children.
It's just you're on the team. You're on the team.
Yeah, and
you
you
could be 30. You could be 5.
12. 15. Yeah, and they're just, you're just playing. And there's no big leagues and competition and everything. It's just fun.
Is there a professional cricket league?
Yeah.
Do those
Yeah,
guys
there is.
make dough?
So it's interesting because cricket is in England, they probably make around £100,000 a year, which is about $120.
Okay.
But if they get the contract with the IPL, the Indian Premier League, which is like a huge, because in India cricket's mental.
Yeah.
They can make like Rahul Kohli, who's like the main player. He makes 50 million a year.
5-0?
Yeah.
To play cricket.
Yeah. Well, with all the marketing stuff.
Yeah,
like,
sure.
he's
No, I
cool,
get it.
He's he's
Yeah.
a star, and they've got such a huge population.
What's his name?
Dohly.
Write that down.
Dohi.
We're gonna look that guy up.
Yeah, they got
See if we can get him to invest in the fund here at Crowd
yeah,
Lending.
Yeah, make your money work.
Right. Tell this cricket guy to get us some of his dough over here. We'll
Yeah.
give him a nice return, selling his money for him. All right. So you play cricket, you play soccer,
Yeah, tennis.
and tennis.
Tennis was the big one,
Really?
but I never grew to a height where I was tall
Yeah.
enough because it's a height based game.
Yeah. Well, length, right?
Yeah,
They
you-
want length,
And the serve, you got to be a minimum 6'2", 6'3".
right? Because of the angle you create with the serve, right?
Yeah,
More of a downward angle.
yeah.
So where do you go to high school?
I went to a school called Stowe.
Stowe.
Yeah, it's about 2 hours northeast of London.
So boarding school.
Yeah, yeah.
So you went there. So is the schooling the same over there? And that high school starts in the 9th. Like so, here it starts in the 9th grade.
So
Then you do 4 years, and then you matriculate to university.
I went to a little school.
That was pretty good, right?
That was good.
Yeah.
Mike Nigerian, he has a good English.
He
accent.
does.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that.
I could see that.
So I went to a school called Summerfields when I was 9 to 13 years old. And that's like a pre-prep. So that's like preparation for going to the big school.
Yeah.
And the people there were very highbrow, like serious people.
Really.
Yeah, they all went to Eton. and now all of them are like.
So is Eton like the Harvard of the?
Well, because it's a school, it's not. They then went to Oxford.
So Oxford is the hot.
Yeah,
So
but if you go to Eton, you're pretty much not guaranteed, but you're very likely to go to Oxford.
really.
They all won scholarships. It's like a serious school.
So Eton is a high school.
Yeah.
Do they call it high school over there? Secondary school. What do they call it?
Boarding school.
Boarding
Or
school.
like a public school.
Yeah.
Even though it's private, they call it public.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
Some
Like
weird reason, but
speaking the same language. But what's that
Yeah.
saying? There's a saying around that. Divided by a common language,
Yeah.
right? I mean, that's what we kind of are. Like we call it a private school. So how do you end up at that school?
Well, when I was 11 years old, I did the Eton test. You have to do like this test, and I didn't think it was reasonable to judge children's applications based on a test.
Okay.
So I refused to take it, and the
That's a
headmaster,
Chris move.
the
Yeah,
headmaster
that's-
brought me in, and he said like, "Why did you not take the test?" And I said, "It's not reasonable to expect like to judge a child's attributes purely based on a falling balloon and calculating how fast it falls."
Right.
And I said, like, I think there should be an interview component, and that's why I came here, so that I could talk to you and you could interview me. And he said he liked it, but go away.
Yeah. Give me the test.
Yeah. So
Great idea, kid. Where's the test?
Yeah. So I ended up at Stowe, which is for the kids that don't go to Eton.
Really?
Yeah. And
Where'd your brother go?
the equivalent of Eton called Harrow. They're like rivals. They're the two main schools.
They're the two big dogs.
Yeah. And I actually had his old housemaster who was a Marine.
So that must have been something else.
Yeah, I was lippy to a child in the first day. He hit me pretty good, and the housemaster approved. He was like, "Yeah, you shouldn't have said that."
Oh, so the kid whacked you.
Yeah,
You got mouthy with somebody.
yeah, and he hit me every day for the whole year.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you hit him back?
Nope, you're not meant to. Then they all gang up on you.
So is this guy older or younger?
He was 18, rugby captain.
Oh, well, you really chose a.
Yeah, it was not.
What the hell were you thinking, buddy?
Yeah, I went to a school where everyone was educational, like geniuses, and there wasn't like any thuggery.
Oh, you mean before you got there?
Yeah. I went to a school where the people judge you on your math results.
Right.
Not,
So they would have said you were, when you made that comment, they would have said you were witty,
yeah.
and this guy knocked your teeth out.
Yeah. He was on to me good. So
And how long did that go on for?
well, the whole year till he left.
Oh, because he was graduating.
Yeah. I got a lucky break.
Yeah, good thing you didn't get like a third year or something, right?
Yeah.
You would have been screwed for another year.
Oh, forever. Yeah.
So
It
that's
was good. It was a very good learning experience.
but that's a pretty heady decision. Backtracking a little bit to say, I don't like this test. I want to come in and have a conversation. I mean,
yeah.
where does that come from?
My parents.
Yeah.
Yeah, they always taught me like if you speak your mind, like they were actually proud that I was one of the only children ever to refuse that test.
Wow.
And they were like, that's good.
Yeah.
You're showing that you have like balls.
Yeah, and you get your own mind.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I
didn't want to go there anyway. Super stuffy place. They all become prime ministers.
Yeah, so I have a similar story, and I don't know if I've told it on this, but when I was applying to prep schools, high schools, whatever, I wasn't going to live away. That wasn't an option for my family. My father was like, you're living at home. So I had pretty much two choices. One was Milton Academy, which is probably one of the best high schools in the country. Right? Very, very, it's right over here. It's 2 minutes away. Very prestigious school. My brother had gone there. My brother, who was 11 years older than me, went there. And I didn't want to go there for that reason, because it was stuffy. It wasn't my style. Then there's another school in Braintree, Thayer, which is a step down from Milton Academy. So I was applying to both, and I went in and had my interview at Milton Academy, and I think my father wanted me to go to Milton Academy, and I sat in the interview, and the headmaster, or the guy that was interviewing me, whose name escapes me right now, says, so the final question was, why do you want to go to Milton Academy? And I said, I don't. My father made me take this interview. That was the end of that. I didn't get in.
Yeah.
So, and now, fast forward, my daughter, Annabelle, who's at Buckingham, Brown and Nichols, which is another wonderful school up in Cambridge, along the same line. It's on the same level as the Milton Academies. She went to Milton Academy. She did an interview, and she hated it. She thought it was like too big. It's a have you ever seen it?
No.
So it's like a college.
Yeah.
It's like a small college.
That's what our schools were like.
Yeah.
Were like that.
This is very much, I picture in my head where you went to be like a Milton Academy, very prestigious big brick buildings and spires and,
Oh yeah.
fields everywhere. And
They had temples.
yeah,
all
yeah,
this crazy
churches.
stuff.
And that's Milton Academy. That's Phillips Andover.
Yeah.
And
The Phillips is the closest to Eton.
Phillips Andover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had a teacher at Stowe who had been at Phillips and then Harvard.
Yeah.
And he said it was like Eton. He was actually the only teacher that I ever cared about his opinion
Really?
because I respected him. He said after the lesson, he would give me a grade on my behavior. And that was the only time I ever behaved in class.
Because you were getting graded.
Yeah. And well, I was more interested in his opinion.
Yeah. Oh, got it. You cared about what he thought about
Yeah.
you. You were concerned about that.
Yeah, because
that means he made a
the
mark
guy
on you.
had a PhD in philosophy, and I had very interesting conversations with him. So I thought, this guy deserves respect.
Got it.
Whereas the rest of them, they were run of the mill teachers.
Yeah.
I'm not interested in their opinion.
So you do 4 years at this school,
Yeah,
Stowe? Is it STOWE?
Yeah,
There's an E in the end.
I lasted 4 years there, and then I went to South Africa for a few months to do manual labor.
Why?
My dad wasn't particularly happy with the ending at Stowe,
Got it.
so that was my biggest nudge. Was that?
Was the going to
Yeah.
South Africa?
Yeah.
Why?
Because the experience there of the lifestyle these people lead and chopping wood in the heat for 3 months was pretty different to anything else I'd experienced.
And you were like, I'm not doing this. This is not the
Yeah.
path I'm going.
Yeah, because my dad basically said this is what you'll do in a factory or whatever if you don't behave.
Shape up or ship out, pal.
Yeah. And then I went to a school to fix my grades for a year.
Got it.
It was really good.
So that's like we have the equivalent of that around here. We like a community college, right? Kid
Yeah.
doesn't do great in high school.
Yeah.
Go to community college, take some courses, get your grades up,
Yeah.
and then you can matriculate to a better university.
Yeah, these teachers were they just drilled you.
Yeah.
Okay? They didn't teach you why, they just taught you how.
Yeah.
Get an A.
Just get an A.
That's it.
Yeah. Memorize this.
And they didn't care if you didn't show up. They weren't gonna ring your parents.
Yeah, they were getting paid no matter what.
Yeah, they just if you want to get the grades, because there were a lot of kids there that were flunk out.
Yeah.
Kids who never showed up.
So you were what, 18 years old at this
Yeah.
time?
Yeah.
Okay, so then you go from so obviously the biggest nudges in your family so far are your parents.
Oh yeah, big time. Yeah.
And I don't know if you were like me, but I didn't really get to know my brother because of the age difference until I actually graduated from college. So I was 21, 22. He was in his early 30s. He had moved back from New York. He went Milton Academy, Boston College Law. Then he moved to New York. And so during that time, he left the house. When he was 14 to go to Milton Academy. I mean, he didn't live there, but he was gone from 6:30 in the morning until 8 o'clock at night. That's just how that's how school was. And I'm 3 years old. I'm not up, and then I'm already in bed. So he was like a ship passing in the night that I would see on the weekends every once in a while. So was it like that for you and your brother?
Yeah, my brother was in boarding school, so I saw him even less.
Yeah.
He'd come home every once a month.
So he was just a stranger that came to your house every
Yeah.
once in a while.
Yeah, and what was interesting was that my parents never changed the movies or the TV or the conversations for me. They just spoke like adults to me always.
Really?
So I was always around people that were just talking about politics, economics, geopolitics, whatever. So I kind of I definitely grew up really quickly.
Well, so your parents must have been older when you were younger.
My mom was 41.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
When she had you.
yeah.
Oh, so yeah, even my mother was 30. What am I? 46. She's 80, so 34. But we never spoke. I never spoke. I mean, the subject matter was the subject matter, but I never talked baby talk to my kids.
Yeah.
I never, and I think it helped them in their development because we were speaking to them like they were
Adults.
I mean, the subject matter was Frozen, or the subject matter was Peppa Pig or whatever it was, but we weren't Google and
Washing it
Gaga.
down.
We weren't.
Yeah.
No, we would just go. We talked to them normal. I think that helps.
Yeah.
So, all right. So you go to community, well, not community college, but you take your year to get your grades up, almost like a post grad year.
Yeah.
And then where do you go?
I went to Exeter University.
Exeter University. The
Yeah.
names are Oxford, Exeter.
Yeah.
They all sound so prestigious.
Yeah. It's pretty good.
Is it good?
Yeah. Like it's like the equivalent of like an Ivy League.
Okay, so it's an Ivy League school. So it's on the level with the maybe not
No,
Harvard,
not quite,
but
not
like
quite.
Dartmouth, Princeton,
Yeah. Yeah. Like I'd say like,
Yale.
no, the other one, the one where all the posh people go. The one where the guy from Office is Andy from Office goes there, and he's like, it's the highlight of his life that he went there.
Was it? Where did he go? Cornell.
Cornell.
Yeah,
that's the one. That's what it was like. A lot of the people there has a reputation that the people there are pretty posh,
Yeah,
but it's like a really good school. It's
posh.
Yeah.
I know.
That's a
I was
great
thinking
word.
that.
Yeah, it's mainly like research, science led kind of school.
No, not business.
Yeah, I went to the business school.
Okay.
But mainly like the government grants for it come from the sciences.
Got it. Okay, and that's a 4-year stint.
I did 3 and then a master's.
So 3, you got your degree in 3 years.
Yeah.
Is that normal, or did you
Yeah.
accelerate?
No, you can do 3 or a year abroad 4.
Okay.
So I did 3 and then I did the master's. I wanted to do PhD, but my dad was like, no.
You're
not-
done.
You're not a lifelong student.
Yeah.
Like, get out there.
Yeah.
So
Get out into the real world.
yeah.
So you came to Quincy. No.
Yeah. This is the real world. Big America.
So, what do you study when you study business when you're at this school?
Yeah. So the first 3 years was business with environment studies. So
Yeah.
kind of like green energy.
Why?
Because the campus I was on was pretty environment focused,
Okay.
and I really liked something called circular economy.
Which is?
Economics in my household was like a big thing, so I was always like very interested.
Yeah.
And circular economics is essentially what you put in the beginning of the cycle, you have to get something else out at the end.
Okay.
Down cycle and have another cycle.
Got it.
And so I studied that. That was like the main modules. I focused on that and accounting.
And was that what you did your master's in as well?
My master's was international management and finance.
Oh wow.
They didn't have green studies.
Excuse me.
Yeah, they didn't have.
I was a sociology major.
Yeah, they didn't have green studies at that campus.
Yeah.
So there was no opportunity.
So, but again, it goes back to your parents and sort of what was going on in your household that really guided all of the decisions you made as to what you were going to study.
Yeah. Yeah.
And where you were going to study it.
Yeah.
Right?
Bloomberg was never not on the TV in my household.
Really?
Yeah.
Are they both in finance professionally?
No, they were like always pushing me to learn about it because
What?
I liked why the tickers were green or red.
Yeah.
I liked that, and my mom explained.
Yeah. And
I got hooked.
and it went from there.
Yeah.
I wish somebody actually knew why they go from green to red, but nobody really knows.
Yeah.
They do. They think they know.
Yeah, but no one knows.
No one really
If you-
knows.
If you knew, you'd be a
Gazillionaire.
Bezos.
Right. That's right.
Maybe Soros knows.
Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah.
So when are you done with your masters? What year is that at that point?
2020.
2020. Right before COVID.
Yeah.
And we're in conversations for you to come over here in 19 and 20. When do you meet Chris?
18, I'd say.
So-
Maybe 17, but I think 18.
So he's over there. What's the Ascot? What's
Yeah,
the
the
big,
Royal Ascot.
the Royal Ascot? It's a
Yeah.
big horse race, right?
Yeah.
Talk about posh. I mean, that's like the poshest of posh.
That
right?
is the poshest.
I mean, that they
If you're
actually-
in the Queen's
They
box.
named a scarf after the race,
Yeah.
right? An Ascot.
Yeah, an Ascot.
Or was it vice versa? What was first?
Ascot.
The
The
race.
racing. The racing.
The racing was
and then there's
first.
a tie. There's a way to do your tie that's also
Yeah.
the Royal Ascot.
Yeah, the Royal. It's like a big.
Yeah.
Is it a big knot?
Yeah, it's a big knot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that makes the Kentucky Derby look like a
Yeah.
street fight.
Hooligans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's right. Am I lying?
Yeah. The way that people in England look at American racing is pretty.
Down their nose, shall we say?
Yeah. Yeah.
So so where do you meet Chris? Because this is a big nudge in your life. I mean, now
Yeah.
you're sitting here in this chair because of this. So let's get into this a little bit here.
So about 10 meters from my bedroom, there's a betting shop in Mayfair.
Like a off-track betting.
Yeah, full of degenerates. Like old degenerates, a lot of like very successful degenerates.
Going in there smoking cigarettes and betting horses.
Playing. Yeah. So
Now, are they simulcasting?
yeah, they have the live racing on, and they've got all the odds tickers. Everything's moving. It's good fun.
Yeah.
And so
Could you buy beer and stuff in there? Or
no liquor's allowed in the shop.
None.
No,
You can't even bring it in.
no, that's like the one legislation.
Really?
But at the back, there's a smoking area and sometimes whiskey, maybe there,
Right.
kind of thing.
But you can't just sit in the parlor and smoke. You have to go to the
You have
smoking.
to go out the back.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And then you have your sip of whiskey, allegedly.
Yeah.
I don't want to get anybody in trouble
Yeah,
here because,
maybe.
about any of our international listeners, because we are going to go international now, right? I
Yeah.
mean, we got a foreigner on, so we're going international here. So I don't want to get anybody in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah. Allegedly have a shot of whiskey, then you go back in and watch 10 more races or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. And I met Christopher there. We were the only two,
Degenerates.
relatively compos mentis people in the shop. And the Royal Ascot is traditionally for me a time when I always win.
Yeah.
So yeah, I went 7 for 7.
So you're with him.
Yeah,
He's taking your bets,
7 for 7.
and you go 7 for 7.
And odds as well, 10, 12 to 1, 20 to 1.
Killing it.
Killing it, crushed it.
Just-
we crushed them.
Crushed it.
Yeah.
So what happens next? So the 7 after the 7 races.
I had dinner with him, and obviously he was interested.
Amazing story, right? Meets a guy at a off-track betting, and now they're at the dinner together
Yeah.
in London, England.
Yeah. And we
From your flat, right around the corner from your flat.
Yeah. Straight away from my bedroom. I can literally see
Straight
the
away.
place. It's like the halo of McDonald's. drawing
Just drawing you in
Yeah.
every single day.
Yeah. Yeah, I lived there. So, and then, we went to dinner. And obviously, he was interested in my ability to pick 7 winners.
Yeah.
I think the underwriting is pretty similar in a way.
Yeah, it is.
You know,
See what he just did there?
Yeah.
Brought it back.
in.
That's
Yeah.
well done. At Crowd
That was
Lending,
well done.
at Crowd Lending, we underwrite.
Yeah, properly.
Yeah,
We look at all the statistics.
we sure do. And we try to pick winners,
Yeah.
much like you did that
Yeah.
faithful day. What was the name of the place?
Ladbrokes.
Ladbrokes?
Yeah.
Ladbrooks?
Yeah. Broke lads. Ladbrokes.
Oh. Is that like a chain of them out there? Or is
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. Yeah. And but this is the flagship store.
This is the big one.
Yeah, it is. And they take any amount there,
Really?
famously. Like in other ones they don't, but that one you can get any amount.
You get any bet you want.
Yeah.
But other ones
A
they
lot of sheikhs are going there and stuff. Like
a lot of sheikhs?
Serious people.
What's a sheikh?
The Middle Eastern princes.
Oh, sheik.
Sheik. Yeah.
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 I thought a sheikh was like some sort of, like
Yeah.
London, England gangster or something.
That's what I like a shakedown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he's
That's
going to
what
go
I
in there
was
and lay down a big bet.
Yeah.
Right? That's what I thought. I was like, ooh, this story's about to get good. Peaky Blinders over here.
Yeah, there's some of those guys there as well. Yeah.
Interesting. Where'd you go to dinner?
In a restaurant called Casa di Stefano that's now closed.
Oh.
It's very good. Very good restaurant.
So now COVID hits.
Yeah.
You were scheduled to come over here when? Originally?
About probably I finished
June or July of 20?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And then we had some problems with the application.
Well, you were like at the finish line, right? You were like ready to sign on the dotted
I
line.
had it
And
in my passport.
yeah, you had it. You had it.
Yeah.
And they shut you down.
On the day.
So he was supposed to come. You know what? You're probably better off, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, I had fun trading silver for the year. It was awesome.
Yeah.
But, it was frustrating as well.
Well, you were holed up in your room, right?
Yeah.
What were the restrictions like over there during COVID?
Pretty bad.
Were they like? Well, so here was like, I think looking back, it was it was bad. I don't want to say it wasn't bad, but we were at least able to go out and move about.
Yeah, you couldn't leave your house.
You couldn't leave your house.
Lockdown.
Yeah, it was true lockdown.
Yeah.
We had lockdown for like 2 weeks or maybe 3 weeks. I can't remember. I don't even want to remember. But eventually we were able to go out and you could also, even during the lockdown, you could go out and shop. And I heard terrible stories in like Ireland. They were like, you had to get like a ticket to go outside. And then if you were outside after your ticket expired or something crazy, they could arrest you or something.
Yeah, it's the same as Australia. They were crazy then.
Crazy.
Yeah. In London, it was like just stay in your house. But because my parents lived very close to me, like 200 meters
Yeah.
from my house, I could go.
You could bounce over there
Just go there.
in the dark of night,
Yeah.
with the cloak on.
Yeah.
Right, so do I. Like Sherlock Holmes
Right,
making
every
his way
movie
down the
in
street,
London.
Yeah.
right, slinking along under the shadows of the wall, right, overhang, sliding in with
V
a
for Vendetta
yeah.
popping out.
But where I lived's crazy because no one was there.
Everybody went out to the country or something.
No, they're just everyone where I live is like foreign.
Oh, really?
They're not from England.
So they went home.
They just they never appeared. So I was like probably literally the only person on my street.
Really?
Yeah.
That's eerie.
20 houses, no one.
That's crazy. See, that's. I mean, that's amazing. Think about that. That's some isolation.
Yeah, it was weird.
That's weird.
Yeah, and obviously there's one office on our street, a hedge fund that was closed as well. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now, we get through COVID. You come here. We were just saying you came here and came to America in May.
Yeah.
Why did you want to come to America?
3 reasons. One is I wanted to see something different in
Yeah.
my life because I've always done a lot of traveling, but I came to America, but I wanted to live here.
Yeah.
Second of all, I really like the business model. Like,
Huh.
and
Bringing it back again, this kid. I tell you.
And the third thing is my mom is a property developer,
Yeah.
so it was like real estate was kind of always in my blood.
Yeah.
So I moved from house to house as a kid, like 24/7.
Yeah. You told me that she was always renovating and selling.
Oh,
Yeah.
And every 2 years we're moving.
Yeah. Always in the same area.
Yeah.
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 I guess you could do that because the kids were going to private, what you call public schools, or right?
Yeah.
It wasn't like so. If you did that here and you were in the public school system, if you moved from Hanover to Quincy, you'd have to change schools.
Yeah.
You didn't have to do that
No,
because they could move, but you're going to
the same school.
same schools all the way through.
Yeah. But also, I mean, some of the houses were literally like 200 meters, 100 meters from
Each other.
Yeah. Yeah, because
So you were moving across the street essentially.
literally, yeah. We once almost didn't move. I mean, it was that close.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
And now you've been here for 8 months. What do you think of it?
yeah, I really like it.
You
I'm
do.
acclimatized to America.
I've been acclimatized to
Yeah,
America. It's just
yeah.
a great command of the English language.
At the beginning, the cultural dimensions were kind of a little shocking.
Yeah.
Like,
What do you mean? Give me one.
Restaurants, people shout.
When they're talking to each other.
Yeah. Like in England, if you did that, like I would say to the manager, like, we need to decrease the volume on that table. And they would go over and say, so, like,
You're speaking too loud.
yeah, like you don't shout.
Yeah.
In public, especially.
So I went out to dinner last night with Chris at a place called Preza in the North End. It was so loud in there that I could barely hear what Chris was saying. I mean, he was sitting closer than you are right now.
Yeah.
It was awful.
That doesn't interest me.
No, I'm with you.
Because I go to dinner to have a conversation.
Yeah, I'm with
Right.
you. It was very loud there. The food was good, but it was very loud.
Yeah.
So restaurants, what else? What else has been shocking to the system?
I think in England, people sugarcoat things a lot more.
Okay.
Whereas here, I actually prefer this.
Yeah.
But here, it's like very like blunt, very like just straight to the point.
Yeah.
And I like that because I don't
Yeah.
like all the wishy-washy. Like
I'm with you, buddy.
Trying to figure out what's going on. And
Yeah.
all this rubbish.
Yeah. I don't like passive aggressiveness.
Yeah, just say what
Say
you
it.
need, get it done.
Yeah. I think you know that about me.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
pretty direct.
Next.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I got used to that. I like that. And now living in Quincy is really
Do you
cool.
think that's because, and I don't mean to cut you off, but it is my show. Do you think that is because there's a certain expectation of courtesy that is in England that isn't here? Like there's an expectation of how, so it would be too rude for someone to be as direct as we are here.
Yeah.
That would be considered rude.
People are very polite in England as well. Like,
Yeah.
It's just naturally like if you're not polite, like my parents raised me to be polite.
Yeah.
If at the table I didn't eat properly or say thank you for the food, like they would just take the plate and be like, go to your room.
Yeah.
Like this is not how it works.
You know what was a big thing in my house was elbows on the table.
Yeah, that's a no-no.
Oh man, that was like, you would have thought I slapped my father across the face.
Yeah.
Get your elbows off the table. You're like, whoa, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. I'm just trying to eat.
Yeah, just trying to eat. You know,
Yeah.
that was a big one. Get your elbows off the table. And then we had a table in my kitchen that was like, so there was a dining room table. It was like one big area. The dining room table, which was very formal. We didn't you used it at like birthdays and Thanksgiving, yeah, Easter. And then there was like almost like a breakfast nook that kind of, it was connected to the wall and it came out, and I used to always sit on it. We all kind of did. It was like that perfect height, right? You like roll into the kitchen, put your, sit up on the table and say,
Wait
"Hey,
for the
Ma,
food,
what,
wait for the food."
what's going on?"
Yeah.
And my mother used to always say, "Tables are for glasses, not for asses."
Yeah. That's a good one.
It's a good one, right?
Yeah.
Tables are for glasses, not for asses. Get off my table. You're like, "Oh, sorry."
Yeah.
You whipping up those bagels or what? What's going on? So, but I think that's part of it, right? So Americans can be blunt. What's the overall feeling about Americans in London, England?
Well, I think England has always had a really good relationship with America. So the people in society that are benefiting from the relationship are obviously happy.
Yeah.
But I think there's a little bit of discontent over some of America's foreign policy in Iraq and stuff.
Yeah.
So obviously we got dragged into that, and there's a lot of people that weren't happy with that.
Yeah.
But Americans are seen as a slightly uncouth and rather brash and kind of if you go to a restaurant, if you hear a table shouting, it's Americans.
So it's Americans.
Yeah.
It's the Americans.
Baseball cap on, shorts, wherever they go.
Yeah, selfish, yelling,
driving, just parking the car.
But you drive on the wrong side of the road over there, right?
Yeah.
But you don't drive here. You don't have a car.
I don't drive. I also wouldn't drive. Some of the driving I've seen.
Yeah, it's
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's something else.
It's
It really
part
is.
of it.
I think he's mostly talking about you.
I know.
Rupi is a horrendous driver.
Yeah.
They specifically changed my parking spot in the garage because Chris didn't want me to park next to him.
I didn't know that. That's fantastic. So you've been here 8 months. You got what? You got anything else big going on in your life? You do, right?
Yeah. I got engaged.
Wow.
Awesome.
I know. This is Rupia's favorite part of the show.
Yeah,
My
she
favorite
loves
part.
it.
I do.
Let's get emotional.
Yeah.
I
So you're
love
getting
it.
married.
Yeah.
When?
Probably in September
And where did you meet her?
in university in Exeter.
She was a student there as well?
Yeah, she was on both my undergrad and masters.
Got it.
Yeah.
So you guys were together a bunch for 4 years.
Yeah.
Were you dating in college or you
No.
started dating after?
No, I dated her best friend.
Oh.
before. Yeah,
Ooh.
I know. Get saucy.
Little drama, little
The
saucy.
tea.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. But,
What happened there?
Things
You don't have to answer that.
things deteriorated to
Okay.
a point where I was no longer satisfied with the relationship.
What a nice way to
Yeah,
put that.
she turned into a.
Nah.
Right, that's the difference between someone from London, England, and someone from here.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly, right
literally.
there.
Yeah.
The relationship deteriorated to the point where I was no longer satisfied with it. That's
Yeah.
amazing. What an amazing way to say. She turned into.
Yeah.
So then you start dating a friend.
Yeah.
Wow.
Who was always my best friend. Always had the eye
Oh.
on her as well, so
So you sabotaged the first relationship.
potentially.
Yeah.
Put it
No
that
doubt
She
way.
was
about it.
always my best friend.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
They knew. Everybody knew what was
Everybody
going
yeah,
on.
the one before always you say, why don't you date her then?
Yeah.
There you go.
And you were like, fine, I will.
Yeah.
I'm about to.
I'm about to. How about that? And now we're getting married.
Quite literally.
Are they still
She
friends?
Invited?
Nope.
Oh.
Neither of those questions are
But they're both negative.
both negative.
So they're not friends.
Nope.
So you broke up that relationship.
Yeah.
And obviously she's not coming to the wedding because of that.
Yeah, the beef.
The beef.
Yeah. So I'm a happy man.
Good.
I got what I wanted.
Now-
And
Now, someone said you have to have like 3 weddings or something crazy like this.
yeah. So she comes from Korea,
Okay.
like a long time ago, and then they lived in Kazakhstan. She grew up in Kazakhstan. Now she lives in St. Petersburg.
Jeez.
So we got to do Kazakhstan for
Yeah.
her family.
Yeah.
We got to do St. Petersburg for the other people in her family.
Okay.
And London for my people.
Wow.
But
Go to Vegas.
we're not going to do London though. We'll do the countryside.
You're not going to do Westminster. You're not going to do
No.
London proper. You're going to go out
That's
to
too
the.
much.
Yeah.
Too much. Yeah.
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 Well, that's impressive. I mean, think about where she's lived and her. She should get on the podcast,
Yeah.
right?
Bring her
Yeah.
over.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the other thing. I just think, again, going back, I said this already, but so worldly, right? How old is she?
25.
25, and she's already lived in those. Where have you lived? You're 20. How old are you? 32?
35.
35? Where have you lived?
Saugus. Charlestown, Saugus, Bridgewater, Westfield, Quincy, Walpole.
And now Berkeley. You could throw a blanket over all of those areas.
Right.
Yeah.
She's been in like 5 different countries.
Americans don't travel a lot, I think.
No, they don't want to leave America.
I read something crazy about something like 40% of Americans don't have passports, or even more. Maybe.
Yeah. I have a passport.
Yeah, like
just in case I want to.
In England, everyone has a passport.
Leave.
Yeah.
Well, you need one because the flip side of it is it's a pain in the ass for us to go to another country, right?
Yeah.
You got to fly. You can drive to other countries. Well, no, you can't.
Yeah, you can take a ferry.
You can take a ferry.
Over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like if you're in,
I mean, we have other countries connected to us.
Yes.
Scotland and Wales.
Yeah. How long is it from London to Scotland?
That would probably be about 7 hours because the infrastructure's crap.
Right, but you could do that.
Wales fast.
But you could do that.
Wales 3 hours.
Yeah, 3 hours to get to another country.
Isn't there one train that goes?
Yeah, top to bottom.
Does it have a name?
The Great Train. I don't know.
Oh, I feel like this would be.
I forget what the name of it is.
Yeah, the Caledonian maybe, because I think I remember that because the Queen used to take it from London to Scotland.
Got it. Oh well, we're running out of time, but I mean the royal family.
Yeah, they got a lot of
What's
drama.
going on right now?
Ooh, baby.
Jeez.
It's a good one.
The Queen died. The guy wrote this other brother wrote a book bashing the other brother.
This nutcase out of control. He needs to be reined in.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, why you got to do that?
Well, he wants the money.
Doesn't he have plenty of money?
Nah, they're pretty good at keeping their money under wraps.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're not living like these Middle Eastern dudes.
So he's trying to cash in on
He's trying to cash in, and also I think the woman's trying to get him to cash in. So
yeah,
I agree.
They're gonna cash in. I mean, that book's gonna sell every dumb American's gonna buy that book.
She's gonna walk with half the money.
Yeah,
she's not sticking around.
Right.
Yeah, she's a bad person.
Yeah,
and just destroying decades of tradition,
centuries.
But also, so what that his brother hit him? I mean, come on,
they're
brothers.
Yeah, they're brothers.
Like, this is what happened.
My brother used to attach me to the garage door by my underwear and make me go up and down on the thing. I'm not writing books about him.
Yeah.
Maybe I should.
But I mean, this guy also came out with the Afghanistan stories and everything. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. I don't understand why they still have a royal family, but that's for that's you guys.
I like it.
I know you said that.
Something to look up to.
Yeah.
But I don't like these young people messing it all up.
Yeah.
I liked it when it was the Queen and she kept everything stable. She was normal.
Yeah, she did a good job.
Yeah.
God, long live the Queen.
Yeah.
Long live the Queen.
Long live the Queen.
It's a shame.
Yeah. Well, Charlie, I appreciate you coming on the podcast.
Yes, sir.
It was very wonderful to learn something about you.
Yeah.
I think we have more in common than we realized.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that you're from the other side of the pond.
You should check out Pep Guardiola, the soccer coach.
Pep Guardiola. Write that down, Rupert. Guardiola.
He's famed for his tactics.
Oh, yeah?
You'd see quite a lot in hockey and stuff. Yeah.
I will do that. Thank you for the advice.
Yeah.
And everybody out there, thank you for listening. Anybody has any questions or concerns or needs to talk, just give me a buzz because everybody needs a nudge. See you later, Charlie. Good job.
Thank you.